Hello and welcome to this 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. The presider and homilist this weekend is Father Kevin. But I wanted to come here and give you a snippet of the readings. What are we talking about in these readings? I feel like we just had this not so long ago on the Good Shepherd Sunday. The theme that is running through these readings is about a shepherd, and I will touch on it. The Gospel passage first, then to the first reading. The Gospel passage is Mark 6:30 to 34. What is happening in this chapter is that Jesus has taken the disciples in a boat for them to go and have a rest after their apostolate. And they are going over to the other side while he sees people walking along the shore of the lake to the other side to meet with him. And as Jesus disembarks, the scripture said he was moved with compassion, for they were like sheep without a shepherd. He was moved with compassion, for they were like sheep without a shepherd. What does that mean? What moved him? What the expression moved with pity doesn't even begin to capture what the Greek says. It is his guts were he had this sinking feeling in his gut because they seemed so lost. Have you ever felt lost? Have you ever felt abandoned? We are just coming out of this pandemic, and I have to tell you, there's sometimes that I felt as if I was lost, that I didn't have a shepherd, because my shepherd is the flock at Rabuni. You guide me, you lead me, you feed me, and without the connection of seeing the smiles on your face or wiping the tears from your eyes, I was lost. I felt abandoned. And this is what moves Jesus. It is important, and I'm very interested in seeing where Father Kevin goes with this, because it's very, very important when we look at the scriptures to see what moved Jesus. If you and I are not moved in our guts for something, if we don't get that sick feeling in our stomachs that bothers us so much, then maybe we need to do a little bit more digging, a little bit more meditation, a little bit more getting in contact with God, because we see this over and over again. Jesus is a person who feels deeply about people. That is why he does whatever he does. All these miracles, it is not to show that he is powerful or a miraculous rabbi. Jesus doesn't do any of that even to show that God is powerful. No. He will raise a child from the dead because he is moved with compassion. He will heal the sick because he is moved with compassion. So today, Jesus looks at this crowd and he just gets this sick feeling. Part of me also wonders, well, what does that say then about the other rabbis who were supposed to be the shepherds? What were they doing? Were they preoccupied with the office of being shepherd? I kind of feel funny actually sitting down and doing a reflection, because whenever you sit down, this is a chair of authority, right? But what were they doing? What are we doing today? Are we too concerned about the politics of being shepherd and forget being shepherd? I'm going to bring up a Pope Francis. He has said something very beautiful about shepherds. He says, this is how you tell you have a false shepherd. Whenever the shepherd doesn't smell like the sheep, you have a false shepherd. And I love that. I love that capturing it in that manner. The shepherd must smell like the sheep, because the shepherd lives with the sheep. I have to tell you, working in my other job has brought me into many, many homes and given me a very different perspective of where people are. I had some weird glasses before. I thought everything was lovely and dandy. I never really got it. And I thank God for taking me on this other path that pays the bills, right? Because it really puts me in a place where I see the struggle. I know the fights. I know the anguish of a mother who is struggling just to have 1 minute of peace because the kids are pulling her here, there, and there, and elsewhere. I know the stress of being a father who has to work more than one job to make ends meet. Do our shepherds really understand? Sitting with somebody who is going through infertility, do we even know the pain of a woman or a man who can't bear a child? These are the journeys where the Lord has taken me to understand what Jesus feels, right? And hopefully I become that sensitive. Jesus looks at, I don't know if Peter, James, and John looked at the crowd. Actually, they give us a hint in the Gospels, right? They looked at the same crowd, and actually the disciples were irritated. Oh, there goes the people again. And Jesus goes like, there goes my people. It's a change of attitude. So pay attention to this 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. The first reading in the book of Jeremiah, God also talks in the book of Jeremiah about shepherds, that He is going to raise shepherds that care for the people, and He will take care of the shepherds that don't care for the people. We have been talking a lot about prophets. Maybe Jesus in the gospel is moved to his guts because people don't have a prophet amongst them. They don't have a shepherd. So I invite you today to look at these scriptures, and I invite you not only to think about the shepherds who wear very nice collars. In fact, let's take the collar off, right? Take the collar off. Now the shepherd becomes Joe Sixpack. You are the shepherd. Be the shepherd. Be moved with compassion. Welcome to this 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. It is a very exciting Sunday. Thank you.